So there's a very common theme that seems to come around on days like today when the market is down a little bit. People think that now is the time to short the market, time to load up on puts, because this is where they want to catch the top and profit from the crash that every news article, every media outlet says is definitely coming. And sometimes you get a little bit of a down move in a bull market like that we're in, but they're usually short lived. And trying to catch the top, I think, is foolish. And you don't need to. I promise you that you'll see a crash coming. And it's really simple how you're going to see it coming. It requires patience and a little bit of contrarian nature, but the market will reveal itself. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Let's go back and look at the COVID crash this year, which is fresh on everyone's mind. Let's start from the top up here. So, everything was going swimmingly through 2019, making all new highs on new highs. There's really no way that you could short this and make very much on it, but you didn't need to. Around the end of February, we started to get a little bit of the panic setting in. And now people are starting to get really scared. So, what you have to do in these situations when you have a real down move is not worry that you've missed it. Definitely don't go jumping in short at the bottom. More times than not, you'll get a pullback. So look for a resistance level. So I like my 50% levels because they're nice and simple. And right around the beginning of March, we got a pullback to that level, March the 3rd. And in case you weren't worried about it or you were still dwelling on it, March the 4th, it's still up there. And then by that time, you have a little bit of confirmation that it's holding that level. And the rest, as they say, is history. And so you didn't need to jump in at the top to capture these gains. And these gains would have been significant if you had bought puts on any stocks that you thought were weak or the SPY, as it were. The market revealed itself to you and gave you an opportunity for those that were patient, something with low risk, because if it were to have come up here, would have recovered. Well, now you know that it's recovering in a V shape and you can get out. But this is the time to be looking, not at the top, not at the top. And this is not just a one off example. One thing that may not be quite as fresh in people's mind now is 2008. Let's go back and look at that. That's what everyone talks about, or they used to talk about before COVID, was the 2008 crash. That was a real bear market. But how did it begin? Well, all-time high in 2007. If we could have known to short it then, fantastic. But we didn't really need to. There were several months of bearishness before it finally did a pullback to a halfway point of this cycle. And you can even see where you had some price action resistance as well. Right around here, you could have been looking for things that were weak, and you could have captured almost a good, almost a year's move, almost a half year's move of playing bearish the market. A lot of money to be made on puts. And again, the market gave an opportunity for people that were patient. They had to wait a few months, but it gave you an opportunity with a position of low risk, because if it conquers this area, then you know that the market's not bearish anymore. So if you wait for these situations, you'll be able to capture them. I myself was able to do some good work back around the December, October, 2018. Again, we had a significant down move in October, came to here, and then around here you started to have opportunities to start looking for bearish positions. And you got that second leg down to make your money. So if you just wait for the market to have a serious correction and then look for pullbacks to resistance, you put yourself in a much higher probability situation of capturing that down move with much less risk because you know where your stops need to be or how far out that you should really need to take them. So, as we sit here at these new all-time highs, it's not important that you capture the move before it happens, because I've been listening to news pieces and reading articles for every day of every year of my trading career about how this is going to be the crash this year, now, this week, next week, blah, blah, blah. And the market just keeps going up. I'm not saying it's going to go up forever, but when it does stop going up, you will see it. So just be patient. Trade smart, guys. See you in the next video.